folks, Maverick Indicators here. Alright, let's get into a little CL action here. I'm just waiting for, you guys know I sit on my hands the first minute and the last minute of a 5-minute turn. A lot of market manipulation here. We just broke through a weak zone here. And CL is, there's my move. Alright, hang on. Let's wait. Okay, now I'm in the clear. All right, so you guys know I always skip the first minute and the last minute of a 5-minute turn. I'm actually going to sell 2 guys here. All right. So we don't have any news today. Where's my Maverick news? We don't have any news today. We got news tomorrow right here. This is the Maverick news. This is going to be on the in the toolkit that comes out later this week for NinjaTrader. Look at this. We got news tomorrow at 8:30. We got core retail and then another guy. Okay, I should pay attention to this trade, huh? I should probably pay attention to this trade. I'm actually going to get into 3 of these guys. Let me turn off my news here. Really cool. The Maverick draw allows me to turn on and turn off my indicators like that. Very, very cool. So what's really interesting about here is we just broke out of this zone. Okay. We've broken through a ton of zones here. This is the Maverick zones. Auto draws your support and resistance zones. I'm not really going to get into it in this video, but it is now available for TradingView. We're releasing the NinjaTrader version later this week. Announcement to come, especially for those of you who already own the Maverick zones for TradingView. Got a little surprise for you guys. So we've been just coming down here, which is all good. We have hot pink candles. If you see pink, it will most likely sink. Pink is your strongest downside data candle. Okay, pink is your strongest downside data candle. Bright green is your strongest upside data candle. Wow. Oil's been dumping. Okay, well, here you go. If you see bright green, it might just fly right off your screen. Bright green is your strongest upside data candle. The Maverick AI Pro colors your candles to the data, not to price and direction. So think of it like a heat map, okay? Think of it like a heat map. Bright green, you're flying up. Start to get gray reversal candles and red candles, which is your strongest, second strongest downside data candle. Came out of green, you had gray, red, and pink. If you see pink, it will most likely sink. These are huge moves. I just have my chart squinched, but pretty cool stuff here. Pretty cool stuff. Let me get this back to normal here. All right, so we got a red background. The bears are in control. Hot pink candles, our strongest downside data candle. We have an A+ setup on the ultimate trading assistant, the Maverick Radar. The Maverick Radar is going through our entire checklist to see what kind of setup do we have. It's going to go through all our indicators and the setups, and then there's this really cool, I always joke that this guy right here is not part of our indicator suite. It's a formula it runs to keep you on the right side of an A or B setup. Okay, and I always joke that it would take me 2 hours to explain this formula in a whiteboard about 12 feet long, but very, very cool stuff. So we got an A+ setup on the ultimate trading assistant, the Maverick Radar. Okay, all 5 traders, think of T1 through T5, are voting. Okay, they're algorithms, but think of them as traders. They're voting bearish across 6 time frames. This is what we call stacking probability. It's crazy that people will look for one thing and just take a trade. Let's stack probability. Let's make sure we have a red background. Let's make sure we have hot pink candles, our strongest downside data candle. Let's make sure we have an A+ setup, or at least a B setup, on the ultimate trading assistant, the Maverick Radar, that only comes in the Maverick Ultimate Edge bundle. You can buy itself, but there's no reason to. You get a way better deal if you get in the Ultimate Edge bundle. And then look, the atomic clock, we got the turn of the 5-minute candle. Now, where's my trender? Let me turn my trender on. Sorry, I didn't have my trender on. This is really cool. The Maverick trender, when you see these, we call these flat tops. See how it's flat on the top here? If it's red, it's to the downside. If it's green, it's to the upside. Pretty easy to remember, right? And when it's spiked, when it's we call these flat tops. When it can't go any further, you get this downtrend label. And this is showing massive strength and momentum, like massive strength and momentum. Look at this flat top. And then this sucker, again, this is a huge move. I just have my charts really small. This is a huge move on CL. Oh my gosh. Huge move on CL. The Maverick trender was pegged to the top the entire way. So we call these flat tops. See if I can get some green ones here. Yeah, so see, from here, it was flat all the way to here. This is a huge move on CL. Huge move, okay? Okay, so gonna get a little retracement here, totally normal. All good. I don't want to block my zone. Here, what if I go like that? There we go. So what the Maverick zones is doing is, and I won't go through it today. I got a bunch of zones on up here. Doesn't matter. We walk you through it. But essentially, this is a zone-to-zone game. Now, oil is at it hasn't been this low in a while. So I don't have loaded on my charts enough to get the next zone, which is fine. I could just change my user setting, but I want to stay on the chart and show you guys this. But essentially what it's doing is it's drawing your support and resistance zones by probability. Not just, you don't see it drawn a zone right here right now, right? Why? Because that's not a high probability zone right there. Okay. So, and then when price gets close to it, it's going to give you this scoring. And this is the probability score, price holding or breaking. Okay, so 76 score is pretty low. Anything under 90% is game for breaking. Anything over 90% is like a brick wall. We would never take a trade into a brick wall, right? You would never drive your car into a brick wall. It wouldn't go very well for you, right? So I don't care how fast your car is moving. You ain't getting through that brick wall, okay? So what we do is and I talk about this in every video, I swear, stack probability. We're stacking probability in our favor. Red background, the bears are in control. Hot pink candles. If you see pink, it will most likely sink. A+ setup on the ultimate trading assistant, the Maverick Radar, going through our entire checklist. How many times have you gotten into a trade, you get stopped out and you're like, what was I thinking when you go back to the trade? Let the Maverick Radar be your eyes and confirm that you really do have an A+ setup. Maverick trenders pegged to the top. You have a downtrend label. All 5 traders are voting bearish across 6 time frames. You can't see it right now because I have the zones there, but if I turn off my zones, there you go. Look at that. Okay. Oh, here we go. Let's see here. You guys know how I roll. If it does 1,000, I just close it. Could this thing keep coming down all day long? Maybe. I don't know. I'm not playing the all day long thing. I'm looking. There we go. Let's go. Let's go. What a nice sweet move right at the end there. Man. Okay, that was cool. Let's go. Let's go. So guys, this is what clear vision trading is, okay? Stacking probability in our favor. Does this get any clearer? Now, I don't even have my Maverick zones on right here, okay, which I can turn off on a click. And go back to our other videos. I explained the Maverick zones over and over and over again. And right now it's on a launch deal. But if you see pink, it will most likely sink. Guys, this alone is like having X-ray vision into a formula we run on the back end to understand who's really in control, right? And what is the severity of their control? Look at this thing just drop down. All 5 traders are voting bearish across 6 time frames. Now you can change these time frames to whatever you want. And you can actually add a 7th time frame if you want. But instead of having 6 charts all over your monitor, why not have the Maverick Multi-X? Okay, this is like trading with 5 other traders. These are algorithms, but this is like trading with 5 other traders that all have a completely different style. Okay, look at this thing. Down confidence zero, 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 down confidence 0. Okay. All right. A plus setup, Maverick trender pegged to the top the entire time, and you have a downtrend label. Okay. But I wouldn't get in here anyway because you guys know I sit on my hands the first minute and the last minute of a 5-minute bar, because I believe there's massive market manipulation. And that's why in the toolkit that's coming out in a couple of days for NinjaTrader, all our indicators work on NinjaTrader and TradingView, by the way, our Ultimate Edge bundle. This obviously is going to be a toolkit for NinjaTrader. It turns the time to red during manipulation times. So pretty cool. Anyway, boom. Over $1,100. Let's go. Let's go. And look, if you want to trade early in the morning, yesterday we were trading at what, like 7 a.m. or something? Today we're trading at 8:41 a.m. I was trading yesterday in the afternoon. It doesn't matter. You know, these indicators are going to bring clarity to your charts. Okay. Ultimate Trading Assistant. Just so cool. So listen, if you want edge in the market, if you want clear vision, not financial advice, do your own research. Never any guarantees in any market. But man, like I always say, we'd love to help you crush it with your trading. But come check us out. Like I always say, it's free to look. Just super cool. What a time to be alive, right? So come check us out. MaverickIndicators.com. That's MaverickIndicators.com.